It is the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. This is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fortminorproject.
Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's episode in the Hot Seat. Of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys, and with that being said as well, I got a brand new guest joining me at this time, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? This is Baker Man 2IFY, part of the YouTube YWC community, and it's the first time I've ever been on the hot seat with yourself, Fortminorproject, so obviously we hope to put on a great show for you guys.
Alright, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show. Of course, as always, we got a couple of topics to get through, and whichever you feel like talking about at the end, feel free to add. And now, with that being said, I'm going to kick things off with the first topic, and that is, with that being said, do you think it is worth having The Rock and John Cena for the WWE Championship, or in the singles, or whatever kind of match do you feel like they should be having? What are your thoughts on that?
I think they definitely should have a singles match, because having the championship in the picture would obviously lose against a couple of other guys who could be on a great show. Obviously, rather than having one match, you can have more than one match. Obviously, you want the World Heavyweight title picture, the WWE title picture, to be separate from your main attraction. Obviously, in the past, you have your main attraction is the Undertaker match. Hopefully, you still got that. But now you've got Rock versus Cena. Now, if you've got title pictures as well, you're going to put on a longer pay-per-view, more great matches, and obviously, it's going to sell. The Rock is one of the greatest guys from his generation. John Cena is one of the greatest guys from his generation. Yeah. They don't need a championship to sell in the arena. They are big enough on their own to sell a match by themselves. Rock Hogan never needed a championship, so why does John Cena need a WWE championship? No, I think it might happen, but obviously I don't want it to happen, because it's going to discourage other guys putting on a great show and obviously building themselves up to be the next main event stars, which guys like CM Punk, Alberto Del Rio, and guys like that, they could have a title match. Obviously, they can build themselves to be the next main eventers. So why stop at that when these guys can sell on their own? They don't need to be in the championship match. Singles match, definitely all the way.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but we're going with a different twist, and I'll just add into that just a little bit. And with the whole build-up into, The Rock and Cena, I have been enjoying that. I thought, it was good to have, and interesting to have the early build, and I thought there was something new there, so that was actually pretty cool. And to me, it was worth the wait, so I'm still looking forward for it nonetheless. So it definitely was interesting to have that so early, right after WrestleMania. And with that, I think it would be a good match, and it would be pretty cool to see how well The Rock will do, since he hasn't really wrestled in quite some time. So I know he's supposed to be wrestling at the Survivor Series. And just to see, how well he can go, and just to, try him out and see how he's going to do. So that would be really cool. And I know he's supposed to be teaming with John Cena, so we'll have to see how they will coexist and to continue the storyline and have the whole war of words between them, which has been, good too. So to me, I think this would be, a singles match. Not for the WWE Championship, but to me, that being said, it would be actually pretty cool to have him in something like no disqualification, no holds barred. I think will add a lot more into the match, and make it a lot more interesting. And besides having it for the WWE Championship, and have the WWE title, be with someone else, and have other people fighting for it, than just having, John Cena and The Rock fight for the WWE Championship, which really kind of in a way wouldn't really make too much sense. And I guess it would be pretty cool, if it does happen, but, I actually see it basically as a no holds barred match. So that's it when it comes to my thoughts. And with that topic, the next thing as we move along here and getting into the second topic, do you think guys like Sean Waltman and other legends will be coming back, and what are your thoughts on that?
Sean Waltman, not so much, because I think, he was good in his day, but I don't think he's too old at the moment. He's not a great promo guy, never was a pretty great promo guy. Yeah. He had other guys do a great promo in the factions that he's been in with the Click and obviously DX. He was never the promo guy. He was the high-flying, young, speedy guy, whereas Justin Gabriel was to the Nexus and stuff like that. So with him, I don't really see the need bringing him back, and plus I don't see it actually sell. Other guys like Scott Hall and stuff, Scott Hall, I don't see it happening because obviously he's in rehab and stuff like that. The only guy I could see coming back, because he's still relevant in the WWE, is Shawn Michaels. Okay. And obviously rumours that he is coming back. this guy's a great promo guy. He can still go. Shawn Michaels is the only really realistic person I can see coming back. Other than that, I say Mick Foley, obviously being signed to WWE, he can have a on-screen manager role or something like that. But other than that, just Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, no one else really. I don't see relevant, and I don't see the point, even reason of bringing them back.
Yeah, with my thoughts on that, and I can see someone like Mick Foley and definitely Shawn Michaels come back. And with Mick Foley, not necessarily he could wrestle or anything like that, but just be as mainly, have the general manager thing, have that be settled and everything like that. Since we haven't really dealt with that situation, I know Triple H is the COO, but we'll have to wait and see where that goes. So I can definitely see Mick Foley coming back in the near future, so I'll be looking forward for that. HBK, definitely, he can, wrestle one more match, but, I don't know if he's actually going to do that, so that should be interesting. Sean Waltman, we'll have to see how his, health issues are going, and with that being said, so I don't know if we're going to see, him coming back, and I know they might be doing NWO, or most likely do a new NWO with the Awesome Truth and Kevin Nash, so we'll have to wait and see where that goes, so a lot can, be dealt with that. So that's it when it comes to that. Moving on to the next topic here, and going into TNA, and basically with Hogan and Sting, and what are your thoughts on that whole build-up and going into Bound for Glory?
I'm not too excited about Hogan and Sting. I mean, two guys over the age of 50. One is half decent now. The other cannot go whatsoever. There's no point of him. Now, when I'm talking about Hulk Hogan, I am sick to death of this guy being on my television. He is not relevant. He's getting annoying now. He's changed too much in TNA where it's not even a good promotion anymore. I occasionally watch it. I used to watch it all the time when it was a six-sided ring, when X Division was the main focus. I enjoyed TNA then. Now, not so much. Ever since the Hulk Hogan takeover, it's gone from bad to worse to worse to worse. I just want this guy off my television, and hopefully after Bound for Glory, Hogan will be gone. Hopefully it's not a storyline. I'm just sick of this guy. This guy is not relevant anymore, and I just don't like him whatsoever. He was one of my childhood heroes when I was watching WWE, and he has tarnished and ruined his whole name. I am sick to death for this guy. I just want him off my television. Hulk Hogan, fuck you.
Alright, so with my thoughts on that, to me, Hulk Hogan should really be in a manager role, and doing something like that, and other than wrestling, and giving the other guys a chance, and helping him with the young talent. So with this match, don't really care for it, but one thing I am happy about, and with that being said, I'm happy that it's not going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship, since we're already going to have Kurt Angle against, Bobby Roode, which we'll get into that in just a little bit, of course. And yeah, so I guess the match will be alright. I'm not really expecting a lot either, so don't expect too much out of Hogan and Sting. So I won't be really watching, and don't really care too much. So that's pretty much it on my thoughts on that. And as we move along to the next topic here, and getting back into Bobby Roode, and who do you think should face Bobby Roode if he does indeed win the World Heavyweight Championship at Bound for Glory?
Well, if Bobby Roode wins it, there's only one guy I can see facing him. Even Kurt Angle, if he wins it Bound for Glory, there's only one guy I can see him facing, which I cannot understand why TNA have not used this already. He can still go in WWE. If he came back to WWE, he would still be a big fucking deal. And that's all about is Rob Van Dam. He is Mr. Monday night, he's Mr. Sunday night, he's Mr. Tuesday night, he's Mr. Wednesday night, he's Mr. Thursday night, and so on. You get the drift. Rob Van Dam is still a great wrestler, he's still in great shape. He can still go for the next few years as a World Heavyweight Championship. This guy should be one of the faces of the company. And I can't not understand why TNA are not using this guy as one of the main guys in their company, why they're not advertising him all over. Why they have Rob Van Dam in the company and just not using him whatsoever. So if Bobby Roode wins the title, if Kurt Angle still retains, Rob Van Dam needs to be in the World Heavyweight picture. And I am sorry for ranting on like this, but it's just stupid. Why not use big talent, big names, properly? It's ruining your company. You've got guys in there, use them. I mean, use them. Don't use Sting and Hulk Hogan, who, as your main guys, the main storyline. It's not popular. No one cares about that storyline. Rob Van Dam needs to be in the World Heavyweight picture. I'm sorry, but that is just how it needs to be.
Yeah, and I don't blame you with that. You know, we haven't seen RVD basically in the main event for quite some time, and that didn't really get his basically rematch. So I don't blame you with that. That could be definitely one of the other guys to have face Kurt Angle, and should be a good match too. So that would be pretty cool. Another one to me, I think James Storm would be cool. Not necessarily actually breaking up Be Almighty, but just to see how they can go and then eventually face guys like AJ Styles and stuff like that, and the guys that have been there, with the company for a long time who never really got a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. So, I think that would be definitely cool in itself. So there are a couple of other guys who can definitely face him, and eventually, before we get into all that, probably face Kurt Angle one last time, and maybe to have the feud continue and for another month or two. That maybe about that. So, I think that would be pretty cool in itself. So basically, that's it when it comes to that one. And that's basically it with all the topics. Is there anything else you want to give your final thoughts on before officially end the show here?
No, I think we've covered everything, every question that you've asked for me. Obviously, with the final thing, I still want to mention Rob Van Dam, really, because he's just a great wrestler.
Yeah.
This guy needs to be. If he came back, honestly, I want your opinion on this as well. If he came back to the WWE, how long would it take to get him back in the WWE title picture?
Well, if he came back to the WWE, it all depends on what they're gonna do. So it probably wouldn't be too long.
Right storyline. Obviously, he's had feuds with CM Punk. He's had feuds with John Cena. He's got history with them guys. This guy's still a big draw. I think if he came back to the WWE, he could still go in the main event.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover really. I'll say that last topic.
Yeah, and that's fine in itself. So definitely, if he does indeed come back, it wouldn't really take him, too much long, depending on what they're gonna do with him. So that would be pretty cool in itself to have him come back as, having one last run with the WWE. So it should be interesting, but I don't know if that's gonna really happen. But we'll have to wait and see what that's gonna do for RVD, and if he does indeed go there, later on. So we'll have to wait and see. But
I wouldn't blame him because TNA are not using him whatsoever.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it with all the topics and everything for this week's episode of In the Hot Seat. It's been a pleasure having you here on the show. Definitely will leave a link for everyone to check you out right down there below in the description box. And with that being said, also for this Sunday, the Hell in a Cell preview show will be most likely at 3 p.m. So definitely, guys, you guys aren't going to miss it. Of course, I will be there. Would you be a part of this week's preview show?
Yeah, cool.
Alright, so definitely, guys, you're not going to want to miss it. And with that being said, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this week's episode of In the Hot Seat. Drop the comments down below and feel free to leave a video response. And as always, I will talk to you guys later on. Peace.